Since we've reached the end of 2016, I thought it might be fun to look back and name my 10 favorite games of 2016. However, there are rules for this list. 1. All games were released in English during 2016. 2. Remakes, remasters, or re-releases are not eligible. 3. These games I've actually played. Unfortunately, I don't have the time or money to play everything, so please don't get upset if your favorite game doesn't make the cut. I should also mention 2 of these games were review copies supplied by the publisher, and I will put up a disclaimer. Anyway, let's start the countdown.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Number 10. Mawari Night Alone. This is survival horror in its truest sense. No hand holding, no weapons, and a single touch can kill you. Even the fixed perspective is reminiscent of the horror games of old. It's spooky, and there's a real sense of danger in this game, especially when you play this game in the dark with the headphones on and the Vita close to your eyes. I can't recommend this game enough. Number 9. Shadow Warrior 2. 2013's reboot of Shadow Warrior was a real surprise and managed to recapture the vibe of old school shooters with the added bonus of swordplay. The sequel is more of the same, but with an expanded arsenal as well as loot and RPG elements. It's like Borderlands, but better since you don't have to give any money to Randy Pitchford. Also dick jokes.
Not to sound like a racist, but all you demons really do look alike.
Number 8. Severed. Touchscreens can usually be gimmicky and sometimes hinder the experience, but Severed from the makers of Guacamelee is a great example of a game that could only be done using touch. This unique dungeon crawler involves strategic swipes and tense battles with multiple enemies. There's lots of exploration with elements taken from Metroid and Zelda. The Mexican folklore and the beautiful art encouraged me to explore every part of Severed's twisted world. Number 7. Superhot. A unique first-person shooter that plays more like a puzzle game where time moves only when you move. When you stand still, enemies and their bullets remain frozen in time. This results in a stimulating experience that made my heart pound as I narrowly dodged the bullets and prayed that my projectile would connect before the next bullet could kill me. The main story is only 2 hours long, but there's plenty of side content that keep you coming back for more. And yes, I'm gonna say it. It's the most innovative shooter I've played in years. Number 6. Shiren the Wanderer. Technically a re-release of a DS game, I give this one a free pass since it's the first time this game was released in English. And more importantly, it's a great game. Shiren the Wanderer is a mystery dungeon game that kicks your teeth and laughs. It's a game you have to study with a seemingly endless number of tools and mechanics. It's a game that had me coming back for more, and I love that chanting noise they play every time you level up. Number 5. Blazblue Central Fiction. 2016 was a good year for fighting games. Guilty Gear XR Sign, Nitro Plus, Pokken Tournament, and The King of Fighters 14. Yep, that's all of them. Didn't miss a single one. But Blazblue Central Fiction comes out on top with its deep fighting mechanics and strong set of features. If this turns out to be the last Blazblue, the series is definitely going out with a bang.
Ragnar, win!
Number 4. Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE. Nintendo may have pulled the plug on the Wii U, but owners of the system were able to enjoy one of the best JRPGs of this generation. The characters can be a bit cliched, but the strategic turn-based battle system demands smart thinking. This is also the best looking game of 2016, not from a technical perspective, but rather an artistic one. It's like someone opens a bag of Smarties in my face, an explosion of color. Never is there a dull moment in this game, never.
急いで列に並ばなければライドビッグウェーブ
Number 3. Forza Horizon 3. I have to admit this is a biased choice based on the fact I'm Australian, but Playground did an incredible job of capturing the feel of Australia with many recognisable locations like the Atherton Rainforest, Surfers Paradise and the 12 Apostles. It's spooky how much it reminds me of my country, but more importantly, it's a great driving game with tight responsive controls, fun events, and a great selection of cars including iconic Australian cars like the Ford Interceptor from Mad Max.
You'd be a terrible train driver. You're early.
Number 2. Titanfall 2. Probably my biggest surprise of 2016. I never care about these AAA shooters, but Titanfall 2 goes against the norm. The story mode is extremely well made with a healthy dose of intense firefights and visceral mech battles. But it's not just a shooter, it's also a platforming and puzzle game, and the time travel stage is my favourite. Meanwhile, the online multiplayer is perhaps the most playable, well-balanced multiplayer I've experienced in years, and the whole game runs at a smooth 60 FPS even on console. The best part is all future mats will be free. It's just a shame that this game didn't sell better.
I would accompany you, but unfortunately my chassis will not fit through the door.
Oh, lucky you.
I detect sarcasm.
Number 1. Shantae HalfGenie Hero. When I was trying to decide what game should be number 1, it had to be the game that put the biggest smile on my face. Shantae HalfGenie Hero is an amazing 2D platformer with beautiful art and an upbeat soundtrack. It's one of the cutest, most charming games I've ever played. The game draws a lot of inspiration from Metroid, and it was so compelling I couldn't resist hunting down every collectible. When I finally finished it, I wanted to cry since there was no more worlds to explore. No doubts, no regrets, this is my favourite game of 2016.